search to find the best of the best in kitchens across America.
Oh, baby,
That is looking good.
it's looking good.
And Milwaukee, Wisconsin proves that there's much more to cheeseheads than brats and brews.
And we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, along the beautiful shores of Lake Michigan. And while this town is most famous for its breweries and local cheese, we've discovered a chef who's redefining traditional Wisconsin cuisine.
So many things that bring people to Milwaukee, keep people in Milwaukee. It's easy to get around. We have great restaurants, great food, great art scene.
About 20 years ago, something changed in the consciousness of the culinary scene in Wisconsin.
There's a tendency to think of New York and LA as the trendsetters, but there's a sophistication in the Midwest.
It's not just cheese and beer and stuff anymore.
There's a tremendous amount of chefs focusing on fresh ingredients and sort of a few surprises along the way.
In Milwaukee's Walker's Point neighborhood, there are some definite surprises stirred up in the Crazy Water Kitchen with Chef Peggy Magister.
I've always enjoyed cooking, even from high school. Didn't have the popularity that it has now.
Well, she grew up in Wauwatosa and decided to go to nursing school.
Nursing wasn't for me, and it was time to make some sort of decision as to what I really wanted to do.
And decided that she'd want to go to cooking school and make this her career. So she went to San Francisco, California Culinary Academy.
Great chefs are a dime a dozen out in San Francisco, and I think you get a little homesick from traveling around. So I decided to come back.
I know so many chefs who maybe left home, went to a major city and trained with other chefs, and then when it came time for them to open their own thing, they thought about where they came from.
And then she came back to Wisconsin. This is where she was going to do her first crack at it.
Upon her homecoming, Chef Peggy began a catering business with her former husband, Tony Betzold. Although their marriage has since ended, their successful business partnership continues at Crazy Water.
Peggy and I started the restaurant together. It's really her restaurant, and I help her run it. She's always been my best friend since I've known her. We get along almost like siblings.
We went to Italy, and there's a restaurant called Acqua Pazza, which means crazy water in English. Just had some sentimental value. We saw an old tavern, and there was a sign in the window that said ferment. And we said, let's just open it up. Let's just try it.
Crazy Water started out with a bang. We really haven't looked back since.
This is one of those restaurants that's just unforgettable.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
I love this small atmosphere. I like that everybody's excited about what's coming to them.
On a cold winter night, do you want to be in a big cavernous restaurant, or do you want to be someplace kind of cozy and nice?
Look at the sign. I mean, it's intimate, it's wonderful.
It's a very homey atmosphere. I want people to feel comfortable when they come in.
Absolutely, yeah, please.
What she does in a small space is pretty extraordinary.
It feels very European in here. I love how close the tables are.
The European vibe and the eclectic flavors in her food are the result of Chef Peggy's passion for experimentation and exploration.
I love to travel. When I travel, I go out to eat, and other chefs I find very inspiring.
People are traveling more. That leads to experimenting and wanting to try new things.
I go to Italy, I've been to France. I go to New Orleans at least once a year, and I try to go out to Sonoma-Napa area once a year. Going to places where I just wouldn't make the same type of things. That broadens my horizons.
We all speak food. That's one language that we all speak. And we all speak it with different accents. I think her accent at Crazy Water is all about my passion is so bold.
She wants to use great ingredients, but she wants to modify them and make them even better.
Comfort food with a twist, so even the sweet plates have a savory element.
She'll take those raw ingredients and take them and tweak them and manipulate them and add sauces to them and marinades that just expand their flavors.
Chef Peggy's adventures in the kitchen and abroad have led us to 3 more of America's best bites. Atlantic salmon fillets glazed with fragrant jasmine tea, mirin, and sake are pan-seared and served with rich pieces of hoisin braised bacon, herb-filled rice, and a light cabbage salad studded with fresh oranges and cashews brighten every bite.
That salmon was so delicious.
Salmon is definitely my favorite dish on the menu.
Tart shells filled with tangy goat cheese and sweet caramelized garlic are baked until golden brown and topped with syrupy lingonberry salsa. A crunchy kohlrabi salad filled with fresh dill, lemon zest, and cherries brings harmony to big flavors.
Amazing, it's delicious. It's just always phenomenal.
Chef Peggy takes her love for sweet and salty to the next level with sourdough pretzel and graham cracker pie crust. Filled with luscious lemon curd and topped with sweet blueberry compote. Served with cucumber mint gelato, this dessert is a crazy good way to end a meal.
Fun, playful dessert.
When I see it's on the menu, I know she's got me.
I loved having people sit around my table and having people enjoy the food and the conversation and the drinking, and it was so much fun.
She does great flavors, she does great service, and she does it for an amazing value consistently. And that's the beauty of what Peggy does.
There's a steadiness to Peggy that is a pleasure to be around. It's very Wisconsin.
Chef Peggy's Wisconsin roots drew her back to Milwaukee.
There. So you're getting a nice color on that.
But when we return, she gives an herbaceous Asian twist to her first bite.
It's the most
An original Asian flair in her jasmine tea glazed salmon.
It's just an amazing addictive dish. If you think you love salmon, you'll be in love with this dish.
It was great. I mean, it's just a terrific dish. The presentation is beautiful.
This is so inspired. It's this lovely balance.
That salty with the salmon, it was just delicious. I've never had anything like it.
So show me how to make your jasmine tea glazed salmon. I'm dying to know.
Well, let's start with the salmon. The salmon is a softer, flaky fish, and I like to do different textures with it.
This is a great cut of salmon, and it's sweet and savory.
The tea glazed salmon is great. It's got a nice sort of char sear on it.
Oh, okay, you're getting a nice color on that. Wow.
So while that's finished cooking, we probably could put the salad together if you want to do that.
I can help you.
You want a real simple vinaigrette with the nap and the radicchio and the toasted cashews and the orange segments, so that's nice and light.
But a nice, refreshing, crisp salad that's got some zesty oranges in there and some bitter greens, a little rice wine vinegar and toasted cashews.
It's nice and crunchy and brings something to the plate.
I'm really liking mixing sweet with savory. I'm doing more Asian things, so I liked the soy, plus I like to balance it out with some sweetness. And mirin is a nice sweet white wine. I did different teas that I liked with it, but the jasmine has a really nice floral fragrance to it. When you steep that into the mirin that's been reduced, I just thought it was a nice combo.
And the jasmine tea coats it so beautifully, and these two play off of each other so well.
Got a sweetness from the tea glaze.
And she thinks about the chemistry of food before she creates her dishes. That's the beauty of Peggy.
And I love the sweet tea glaze with savory, salty flavors. Pork belly is very in right now. Slow cooking it is the best way to do it. The fat just cooks out of it, but it keeps it moist, so you can cook it for like 3 hours. You take a slab of pork belly or get some bacon from the store, a nice thick slice of bacon. And then you would score it on top, and you also want to cook off that fat that's on the top layer.
She rubs the bacon with a little bit of hoisin and she bakes it in the oven. That sugar content of the hoisin creates a caramelization on the smoky bacon.
When you slow braise it and cook it in that hoisin bath, it just gives it that sweet caramelized edge that normal bacon doesn't have.
The salmon had been infused with the smokiness of the bacon.
A crispy, sweet treat.
It was smoky bacon, and it's just amazing.
That is done. Then I also have green rice, some herbed green rice here.
Tell me about this.
And this, we start with basmati rice. I like basmati. I put the herbs in the blender, some cilantro, some basil, some chives, and mint. You really want to break down all those herbs so the flavor comes out when you're cooking it.
And then you round it out with green rice, which is just a wonderfully herbed rice that has a real punch to it.
It's real simple rice, but it has mint and parsley in it. It's like a real fresh tasting rice.
The rice on the side is nice and neutral, but it's got some really nice kind of aromatics to it.
So should we plate it?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll let you do the salad. And of course, the best part, the sauce.
The tea glaze itself is, again, sort of a sweet savory play.
Look at that.
It looks good enough to eat, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
That is truly the best salmon I've ever had.
It's got a nice smoky flavor from the bacon. It's delicious.
We travel around the world. I eat fish everywhere. I always come home to this. I mean, it really is one of the best dishes I've had.
And there are still 2 more dishes to come out of this crazy kitchen.
Stunning. I cannot wait to dig in.
When Chef Peggy turns sweet savory tarts and tartlets into some of America's best bites. For more on these recipes, go to cookingchanneltv.com. Chef Peggy Magister loves nothing more than serving good people, good food, in a relaxed atmosphere.
Oh my God, it's like my favorite.
The homey, welcoming vibe of this small space echoes the warmth of an Irish lodge where Chef Peggy found her inspiration for this next comfort dish, the caramelized garlic and goat cheese tartlet.
The idea came from when I was in Ireland. I came back here and just started playing with recipes and trying to recreate those intense heavy flavors with the gorgonzola and the balsamic and the garlic. So then the lingonberries and the salsa, to me, is a great combination.
I think it's kind of a good twist on a cheese plate. The house-made crust gets compliments all the time.
It's a very simple tartlet dough. It's just butter, flour, a little pinch of salt, and a little water. I'm gonna go around the edges. Do you want to give it a turn? Okay.
The pastry is perfect. The crust is sublimely done.
You're gonna bake it in the oven just until it gets lightly browned.
Got it.
You blanch the garlic first because you want to get rid of the bitterness. You want to soften it up so that the liquid will absorb more into the garlic clove.
She takes an ingredient with 1,000 faces, such as garlic. She caramelizes it and brings out the natural sweetness and intensifies the earthiness of the garlic.
So you have the caramelized garlic, but it's not overpowering it.
The garlic in it is just so subtle, yet it's light and delicious.
You're just going to put a thin layer on the bottom. Then you're going to take your cheese mixture. It has mostly all goat cheese, which is more of a mild flavor.
She gives you something such as goat cheese that has that tanginess.
A little bit of Roquefort and a little bit of mascarpone.
You can really substitute a lot of different cheeses, as long as you've got 2 creamy ones, because you need that creamy texture.
You bake that, get it nice and warm and bubbly.
The goat cheese was kind of creamy.
A great balance of flavor.
Flakiness of the crust, the cheeses, it's always just a treat to have whenever I come by.
Then you're going to want to plate it all. And let's start with the kohlrabi salad.
Oh, what is kohlrabi?
It's like a radish. It gives something a crunch to it. So if you want, you can put a little bit on there.
Alrighty.
And then you have your lingonberry salsa. It's slightly sweet and a little sour. We get ours from the Pacific Northwest. They're kind of like a currant, something like that.
Right.
We put a little jalapenos in there, a little chopped cilantro, a little red onion. To just kind of balance it out, well, let's get some acid in there with the lingonberries and the orange juice.
So it's got a little kick to it from the lingonberry salsa.
The lingonberry salsa ties it all together. It's just tremendous.
So that looks good.
What? Yes, it does. I'm salivating. I'm gonna eat it right now.
Good. Perfect, perfect.
And after a savory tartlet, Chef Peggy continues to find ways to combine sweet and salty in her lemon curd tart.
I like desserts. I love lemons.
A light, tangy custard that's nestled into a crunchy, salty pretzel crust.
It's the perfect dessert.
So, Chef, how do we make the lemon curd tart?
I use a pretzel crust. It's a sourdough pretzel that I grind up, and then I also mix it with a little bit of graham cracker crumbs, so it's the sweet and the savory together.
Yes.
Instead of just a graham cracker crust, pretzel with lemon, that would be delicious.
She has this little bit of saltiness on her dough.
Never had a pretzel crust any other restaurant but this one.
Crunch of the pretzel crust is just the right balance with the lemon.
And now we'll make our lemon curd.
A curd is basically a little bit different than a custard.
But it's so phenomenal. From the lemon curd to the saltiness as well, with blending of the two.
She uses a lot of zest of that lemon, and then the egg and the sugar creates this beautiful medley of flavors.
Then you just constantly have to stir it over like medium heat. And you want to let it get as thick as you can, but you don't want to cook those eggs, so you want to be careful not to have it over high heat. So a little cornstarch, a little heavy cream, I added that while I was cooking the lemon curd. That just thickens it up a little bit. I needed it to hold up in a tart so I could slice it. The crust is ready to go. Now the lemon curd is done also. So now we're just going to pour it in here. So this is the blueberry compote that we made.
Okay.
With the fresh blueberries, a little sugar, and a little water. You also could use a little orange zest if you want to, just to give it another layer of flavor.
The presentation is good, it's simple, and it's tart.
And then we did get some cucumber and mint gelato.
Stunning. I cannot wait to dig in.
Whoever thought of cucumber gelato? It's just wonderful.
And it's just a great harmonious blend of flavors.
Chef Peggy's imaginative flavor combinations continue to receive rave reviews.
That was like an explosion of so many different flavors.
And it's almost my turn to taste 3 more of America's best bites. 1. The most original bites in America. And now it's time to taste what makes them the best.
Right, Chef? Oh, this looks beautiful. That is delicious. I'm definitely getting a hint of the jasmine.
Okay.
And like a sweet yet savory kind of combo that goes so well. The smokiness of the bacon with the little bit, a hint of sweet with the salmon too.
Chef Peggy used a jasmine tea in her glaze to bring sweetness to this savory dish and says any floral scented tea will do the same. Pork belly or thick slab bacon make for a perfect smoky complement to the salmon. And the fresh herbs topped off the green rice, rounding out this crazy dish.
All right. And this just is beautiful to look at. Are you kidding me?
So the garlic, it's not too overpowering, is it?
Not at all. I noticed it was almost sweeter than it was garlicky.
You did, because of the balsamic that's glazed onto the garlic.
The cheese combination, so savory with the heat and the crust. It's so buttery.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Nice flaky crust.
Chef Peggy's tartlet dough is the perfect buttery, flaky crust. But store-bought dough will be a great time saver when trying this at home. And if lingonberries aren't available, raspberry or blackberry preserves can also freshen this warm dish. A crisp side salad like the kohlrabi adds a great crunch to the plate.
Right, I think I have to start with the crust. And then the tanginess of the lemon curd, it's tart, but not too tart. And then the sweetness from the blueberries.
Yeah.
Cucumber mint. That's the perfect palate cleanser. It's the perfect dessert.
Mixing sweet and savory is Chef Peggy's forte, and this pretzel graham cracker crust is Exhibit A. Chef made sure to cook the curd over low-medium heat so as not to scramble the eggs. Any seasonal berries will be a delightfully sweet pair for the tart lemon curd.
Chef, you have crazy good food.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's something in the water or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a crazy water.
For more on these recipes, go to CookingChannelTV.com. And be sure to join us next time as we continue our search for America's best bites.